Hello there, welcome to the first episode of VFX Trails, and in today's episode we're going to be creating something very special. Of course, as you've seen in the thumbnail for this video, we're going to be creating the Legends of Tomorrow time stream effect. I mean, we all know that it is this strange tunnel stuff, like this tunnel thing. It's gonna take a while. Yeah, this strange tunnel thing we're going to be creating. This is just a 5-second footage, and we're going to be creating this in After Effects. And actually, for this effect, we're going to be using some plugins for this. And one of the popular plugins, we're using the Red Giant Trapcode series, in which we'll be making use of trapcode Maya. Then we're also making use of Deep Glow. Those are the two major plugins that I think we need for now, and maybe a bit of optical flare. So without wasting our time, let's get right into it. So yeah, I've got a new composition right here, and of course it's not saved because I just opened this, so I'm going to save it later. So create a new composition and let's call this tunnel. I'm going to be loading this with just 20 seconds of frame footage, and I'm going to be saving this, and I'm going to save my black composition right here. So first of all, we want to create the trapcode Mia. So create a new solid and call this Mia. Then let's go to effects and presets, and we can load in the trapcode Mia, the Red Giant trapcode Mia. I'm going to place this right there, and as you can see a bit of some folding. Okay, so as you can see on the screen right here, we've got some bit of scrubby footage. It kind of looks quite weird. Let's get this a camera, and I'm going to press the camera icon, and as you can see, this is full 3D. I think I want to use my graphics card around here. Okay, it's on. The student is pretty tempting. So this is how it's gonna look. It's just like a 3D folded paper. So right now I'm gonna actually press Ctrl Z and refocus. Let me just delete this. Okay, I'm gonna create a new camera so I can refocus this in the way I want. So right now let's go to the geometry. Click on Mirror, go to geometry, and first we're gonna increase the size of this. Okay, so we're gonna increase this to 2040. Great, and we have this. So take the camera footage and click on the right click and drag back. Slowly drag back with the right, just drag back. This thing is a bit slow. Okay, after dragging back just a bit like this. Also, after putting the size X and Y and Z to 2240, change the vertex X and Y to 300 respectively. 300 and 300. We need this to be much more distributed and shaped like that. Make sure reduce geometry is off and the tessellate is set to triangles. Now come to the bend X, change the bend X to 0.5 and change the bend Y to 0.1. So we get something like this. Okay, let's try and get our camera to view this. So we have something like this. This is very good for a tunnel. So now we're going to actually go to the fractals. The fractals are a very important aspect of this guy. Go to the fractals. We haven't actually seen much of anything that is interesting yet. Let's try and give it more of a shader. Materials, and let's change this to color red. Let's try and get something color green. Let's get something going here, even if it's just a bit. So you have the green color here, and so let's go back to the fractal as we said earlier, and let's set the amplitude to 20, set the fractal type to regular, set the frequency to 914. That's quite amazing. See more scatter. We can't see this, as you can see. There's some issues right here. We can't just see through the colors. So right now I want you to keyframe the frequency set a keyframe for the frequency and scroll up to 20 seconds and set this to 1203. Boom, and we got something like that. So I can actually press U to expose the keyframes, as you can see right here. We're going to do the easy or whatever later. So right now, the evolution, change the evolution to 87. That's good. Then also, we can also actually set the complexity to 10. Set the complexity to 10. Then make sure that the other parameters are just being fair. For example, let the oct scale be 2.0, the utmost to be 0.5. The smooth normals has to be 1.0. Then next, we move to the materials. You leave everything the way it is, but set the opacity to 20%. Okay, and we get this. Once you set the opacity to 20%, we get this. Then after that, the ambient is 100, but I've used is 100. Then the reflection and the sharpness is actually 100%. Okay. Then now we move to the shader, and in the shader we can select the density, then change the draw from fill to wireframes, and we get this wireframe kind of effect. And so that seems to be all for now. In the reflections and lightning, set this to desert horizon. That's for that aspect. And so let me say that's just all for now. When we get to the texture, you can set the density effect. I think I like it at 99. It's much more preferable like that. So the question is, if we can actually just use our camera and scroll, okay, and move and scroll and try and enter the tunnel like this. Is that even working? Yeah, something like that. And I move this left, okay, and I'm trying to really enter the tunnel. Okay, let me say this is pretty creepy. Okay, trying to enter the tunnel. Okay, this is so much work. So I think the best way actually is that I actually made I actually used the adjustment for my cameras. So from the camera options, I have the zoom of the camera, the position of the camera to enable you to get there easily. So first of all, let's adjust the point of interest. Let's set the point of interest to 720. 720. Set the Y point of interest to 716. Sorry, 716.7. Then we're going to set the Z axis of the point of interest to 40.6. I know that those things is getting crazy, but it's just a few minutes to get it right. So the position, set the position to 354.0. I say the same thing. Then also we can actually set it to the Y axis of the position to 437.7. Then we can actually set the Z axis to minus 907.3. Great. And so we have a very good effect just like this. We have very good and natural feel good effect. So of course we have to still manipulate our way a bit to get the portal. As you can see, we have this black stuff at the background. So I'm going to create something like a dark green background to overlay the background at the background. Sorry, to overlay it at the back side so it can look, you see, just a bit like this. So let's make use of the optical flare. We're going to create a new solid and just type in your opticals, and we're going to type in the word optical flare. Great. So we get a bit of this, and we can set the position for this optical flare because I've got position right here. Set 1492.2, and we're going to set this to 326.6, and so we get this nice optical flare there. And you can set this, you can set the optical flare. I don't want much of the options. Yeah, I can't set it. So I can set this to green, a bit of a lightish green. But and also set the source type to 3D. So as you go, you can just feel the ambience. We don't get to see much of it. And also we can actually just give it a bit of the deep glow. The deep glow brings out more of it. If we say we should just use the normal glow, let's try the normal glow. This is the normal glow, and if I was to put it, okay, not on the optical flare, sorry, let's close this, select this, and drag the optical, sorry, and we get this. That's pretty not changing. So let's use a deep glow instead. Deep glow brings out more of the dark glow, like the dark form of glow, and boom. Fine, this thing is moving. Oh, sorry about that. I think this is why I should probably rename this. Change this to background, the last one below, to background, and delete the glow stuff. This is not meant to be on this one, but instead on the mirror. This is the optical flare. This is above the mirror. Oh, we get this and set the optical flare. Set it to screen. Boom. So we have this, and this is how it should clearly look like. So I'm going to apply the deep glow to the mirror, and we get this. Oh my, it's too bright. I blame that on the fact that we've actually added a bit of this color, but this color is meant to be a bit darker. Not like this, maybe too dark. Okay, this will help us caution it a bit. So as you can see, we've gotten more of our time portal already, but this background seems a bit off. Like it's as if we don't have the dark shade. So apply a few to the background. It's gonna be red for a while. So just take and darken it just a bit. See, to get this kind of effect. And so once you come back here, see that the portal works in a much more different way. See, you can see that the portal goes back and forth, and it's gonna be quite slow in loading, but it's worth it. So I think we've successfully created a good time portal. Okay, I could just decide to drop anything here, or just animate a falling person or something right in there. So if I switch off the background, we get, okay, we still get a portal, but not like realistic as the one we want. Also the mirror, everything leaves it, and the flare, you see, there's this ambience is gone from it. So let me say everything actually works together for the perfection of this guy. Okay, with your camera you can just duplicate your camera and decide to change the view. Rotate this just a bit like this, and we get, yeah, something like this. You can zoom in and drag this a bit to the top, okay, so that we can get a very good angle. We can get a very good angle, you see, for a good shot. So it's me creating the time portal, the time tunnel effect, and this is very good, very great. So most of your renders, I mean, if you check this footage right here, you can see that we have something very similar. If I also play this, it's going to look just like this. Okay, so this is pretty very amazing. We've managed to create the portal effect from Legends of Tomorrow. See how this look like. Okay, fine, I want to get rid of those lines. Okay, so I think to make this much more better, we can add some CC radial fast blow effect, and it gives us this, but decrease the amount to just 20, and okay, it still looks a bit better like this. So okay, we've come to the end of this tutorial for today. So we've managed to create a bit of a portal effect from Legends of Tomorrow. I mean, this one's even better than the one I personally created myself. I mean, this one looks even much more blobby and fluffy and soft at the edges and not that sharp. So I really want to save this as Legends. I'm actually very sad that the show got cancelled this year, but there's just nothing we can do about it. So this is what we've got for now. And also, I think if I can open the formal project files, you can get more of a look at what was rendered in the previous exits. It's just like this. Okay, and that one is much more fluffy and much more better. Okay, so let me say like something like this. We're able to make something, so you can keep on adjusting the color till you get it. Okay, so that's all for now. I'll see you in the next tutorial. That's all. Thank you.